As a surgeon, I thought, gee, I now can have another modality to look inside the skin before I start operating. I'm John Arlette. I'm a dermatologist. I practice Mohs micrographic surgery, and my practice is limited to aesthetic services, which are primarily injectable treatments, mainly with neuromodulators and hyaluronic acid gel fillers. I began looking at the use of ultrasound in aesthetic medicine about 4 years ago when I was the national advisor for one of the large pharmaceutical companies for patients who had experienced complications from filler therapy, patients who had had vascular accidents, who had nodules or had developed abscess-like reactions. I was looking for ways that we could investigate, evaluate, and manage patients with that. And then I actually purchased a Clarius after I'd had the opportunity to use it in really an experimental circumstance here in the office. So over a period of a week, I was able to use a variety of instruments and see how I could adapt to using those. The implication of having a handheld device, which is portable, it's stowable, it's easily connectable to something that we have like a phone, that we can then use it anywhere. So it's point of care treatment. So if you're only working in one clinic, you have it with you. If you're going to different places, you can carry your device with you. My favorite feature on the software of the L20 is the cine capture. When I'm imaging and I'm looking over a large area and I want to go back to see or be able to demonstrate what I've seen, I can, instead of trying to press the button to freeze on something that's momentary, I can actually slide back to see exactly the image that I want to display, and which is the best example of what we're seeing with the patient, we're seeing with the vasculature, we're certainly seeing where the product's been placed. I love the fact that the L20 is freehand, that you can move around. You're not tethered. You're not tethered to a monitor. You're not tethered to a cart. It gives you complete freedom. And you're also not dealing with that ergonomic change of something pulling back if there was a tether. And that means you've got total portability without being bound by any kinds of cords, electrical connection. So the wireless component is a real huge advantage to the device, to the Clarius L20. The image quality is impressive, and I can say that having worked with a wide variety of devices. And that includes other handheld scanners that have a lower frequency range. Because with the L20, I can see more, I can see greater clarity. It allows me to see the structures that are important for me to be able to evaluate in my treatments, both in terms of fibrous bands, in terms of fascia, in terms of bone, in terms of the vasculature. As we start to incorporate these images really as a three-dimensional model of what's below the skin, it's that clarity and that resolution that becomes essential. The fact that the L20 is set up with the presets that basically you turn it on and you can scan immediately without having to adjust the gain, without having to adjust anything else, makes it far more usable. It's like taking your phone camera and using it. It's automatic, so that you can keep engaged with your patient, so that you can keep the flow of the appointment going, and we can wrap it all together to make it a much better experience for our patient.